Hello, my name is Colin Campbell. I'm with Polygon. You're looking at Civilization 6 Rise and Fall, which is a new expansion coming out in early February. I had a chance to play the game for a few hours last week, only for 150 turns, but it gave me a sense of some of the ideas that Firaxis are bringing to this expansion. Generally, their expansions are pretty meaty, and this one is no exception. So let's have a look at some of the ideas that they've got going on here. You can also find out more, by the way, by reading my preview at Polygon. So to begin, these are some of the new characters, some of the new civilizations that you can fiddle around with and you can play with. And as I scroll through the list, you'll see some of our favourite chums who've been around since the game released last year, as well as some new ones. There are 9 new civilizations that have been introduced. I know about 6 of them, which you're getting a look at now. Here's the Cree, who are a Native American nation, still existing in Canada and the northern parts of America. And you can see that half of the 6 that we know about so far are women. So although that won't exactly redress the imbalance of men to women, there are more women. And I chose for this playthrough Wilhelma. I probably said that completely wrong. Anyway, she's the Queen of the Dutch. Much of the game plays just as you'd expect if you've been playing Civilization 6 for the past year. So I don't want to give you the idea that this is a complete rehaul of the basic mechanics. It's just more that's been added to the game, more complexity, more richness, more diversity. One of the concepts that they've introduced is that of loyalty. If you have a city that's on the outskirts of your sprawling empire and it's inhabited by perhaps people from other civilizations, maybe you've won it through military conquest, they might not be as loyal as they could be. If a city becomes too disloyal, it will become a free city, and that makes it easy for takeover culturally or militarily by your rivals.
We now have the opportunity to appoint a governor to our civilization. This governor will be a powerful and productive asset when assigned to one of our cities. I suggest we choose a candidate as soon as possible.
One way to counter disloyalty is to install one of these governors in your city. That will help increase loyalty, but there are other tricks that you can use, such as espionage or launching a great wonder, or perhaps building more of your own cities near those areas that are disloyal. So there are different ways to crack this egg, but I do find the governors interesting because they are useful in all of your cities. For example, I used a governor who had cultural skills in my capital, and I used one with military skills to defend the border. The governors can also be upgraded along the way, and they bring some pretty hefty bonuses with them. One of the things I didn't really get to dig into too much, because I only was able to play the first 150 turns, was the new section on alliances. I can work with my neighbours on specific projects like military, scientific, economic, and there are new ways in which I can interact with my neighbours. But as I say, this isn't something that I've really experienced much of, so I can't really say anything about it. I hope that it improves the behaviour of the enemy AIs, who can, even in this game, just like many of the others before, be a little bit erratic. This brings us on to the matter of historic moments. You'll see here a scroll which shows some of the good things that you've done as you play the game. But it isn't just there to make you feel better about yourself. It adds to an era score, and the era score, once it hits a certain amount during a particular era, say the ancient era, that will allow you to have a golden era. You remember those from previous Civilization games.
Our dark age has ended, and our civilization is on a path towards an even brighter future. Our next golden age will be glorious indeed. Great news! Our accomplishments have propelled our civilization into a golden age. During this time, our civilization will be stronger and more loyal than ever.
As the helper mentions there, if you fail, you can also fall into a dark age. I played in the Dark Age and I didn't find it to be too bothersome. but this was in an early part of the game, and I imagine with the kind of loyalty penalties that come with it late in the game, it could be pretty catastrophic. It's much better to have a golden age than it is to have a dark age, that's for sure. As you select your golden age, you get these bonuses which you can choose along the way. With the dark age, you get far fewer bonuses. And there's something else that goes on in the game, and again, I suspect this will be a much bigger deal in mid to late game, and that is the emergency.
We have the option to join other civilizations against a larger threat, but we must consider carefully. If we join and succeed, we will be rewarded, but if we join and fail in our mission, the enemy will become stronger.
And so you can see here, the emergency has happened. Spain have done something to annoy everybody. Perhaps Spain is winning, or it has invaded a city-state. Anyway, there is an emergency. And so I can look here at the possible gains and the possible losses and those civilizations that might join and help me. Now, I actually did join this because I wanted to see how it would all go down, but it was a mistake in terms of gameplay because nobody else joined. And it turned out that the city that I had to invade from Spain in order to win my goodies was just too far away within the number of turns that I had to do it. So on that occasion, it wasn't such a good idea. And you can see that I've annoyed some of my other neighbours, and the whole thing was a bit of a catastrophe for me. So yes, it's a big gamble. So Civilization 6 Rise and Fall, the expansion, comes out on February the 8th. I'm going to leave you now with a couple of minutes worth of the introduction video, which is hugely entertaining and actually kind of inspiring. As I say, this game comes out on February 8th. You can find out more on Polygon.
Daughter, the path has not always been easy, but you have never faltered. Ours is a journey that spans generations, where one story ends, another begins. The world our ancestors faced was brutal. Yet from it, they drew life. And though the road to prosperity was at times harsh, from it, great civilizations arose. As well as those who would oppose them, with dreams of conquest of their own. Creating mighty empires, if only to see them fall. Yet from the ashes of the old, new possibilities arise. You need only persevere. For united, mankind is capable of many things, both great and terrible. Still, the true power to shape this world has always lain in your hands. Choose well.
Always. you.